Thank you, Mr. President. Members, I too rise in opposition to this bill, and I realize that we're working on a budget and, things are tight, and we're squeezing every dime that we can out of the little bit of money that we have. But I remind you of something, that in California government, we have, in effect, 3 distinct levels of government. We have the state, us, we have cities, and we have counties. In Los Angeles, you can drive through a state road and a city road and a county road, and while you're, in some cases, on the same street. But what I'm concerned about here is that we're making a choice where we're assuming that somehow what we do here at the state is more important than what the other people do. We're saying we don't care what you do in Los Angeles. We don't care what you do in San Francisco. We don't care because what we do in California as the state government is more important than the services that the other people provide. So we have no sense of why don't we just take their money and use it to balance our budget. Redevelopment agencies go back, members, almost 70 years in California. And as you've heard, whether or not it's downtowns or neighborhoods that were blighted, this has been the tool that we've used to revitalize those neighborhoods. When we took the money from redevelopment agencies a couple of years ago, that matter is still being litigated, and I remind you, we're losing in court. We've already lost one of those battles, and we may end up having to repay the $2 billion that we took a while ago. So here we are again looking at the property tax. And when we look at our cities, we've taken sales tax from them. We've taken transit tax from them. We've taken property tax from them. We've taken redevelopment monies from them. Members, there was a movie back in the early 70s that was called Soylent Green. And in Soylent Green, when you learn the backstory, what you learn is that the people had become cannibals. They didn't know that that's what they were. They just knew that the Soylent Corporation gave them some red Soylent and some yellow Soylent. And then there was that ever-present, the real good green that you didn't know happened to be people.
Senator Wright, you will recall the rule of germaneness as you proceed. So.
Oh, I'm there. Because what we're talking about, Mr. President, is the cannibalization of state government versus local government, which is exactly germane to the point that I'm making. So here we are again. We're saying to the cities and counties, we can cannibalize a portion of your revenue because the services that you provide aren't important. We don't care about local law enforcement. We don't care about picking up trash in the street. None of those things are important because what we do are the most important things. We're the state and we know better and we know what's good for you. So we can take your money and it doesn't matter. And so we're clear, the discussion about going forward, that's just bogus. There's no going forward. The panels that are described in this bill are essentially the same panels that you have in a bankruptcy Chapter 7 panel. Their mission is to liquidate the assets of the corporation because they're stacked with people who have a vested interest in getting rid of the redevelopment agency. So there ain't going to be no going forward. This is a vote to eliminate redevelopment as a tool, whether or not it's in Ceres or San Francisco or anyplace else. Oh, I forgot there's a carve-out for San Francisco, excuse me. So it's a vote to eliminate redevelopment as a tool in most every other city in the state of California. RDAs provide a vehicle by which we're able to build things, members. The other thing that this does is it pits communities in a false dichotomy. So we take our school people and say, we're going to give you some money, and then we take the other people who are in housing and construction, and we say, we're going to put you two of you into a fight together and see who comes out. Let me explain something to you. Neither one of them wins this fight. The reason that they both lose is that you won't get a dime of the money. When this started in January, we were presented with a thing that says we could eliminate the agency and take the money. Well, lo and behold, guess what? That was illegal. And when we found out that it was illegal, there was an alternate proposal that said that we can come back, work with the agencies, and voluntarily receive some cash. This says if you don't give me the money in statute, that I take it from you and I put you out of business. That's illegal too. Look at Section 16 of the Constitution. That's illegal. So not only will you not get any money this budget year, but you will probably have to pay back the money that you already took. So look around some of your areas. In Sacramento, if you look at that rail yard over there, You're talking about land with which you couldn't do anything with. You're talking about land that's blighted, that's contaminated, that will require an RDA to do the improvement to it so you can sell it. If you have these panels go through and force redevelopment agencies to sell off land that they've acquired that's primarily blighted at prices that are going to be, in some cases, less than what they paid, you'll end up owing money back. So not only will you not end up getting money, you'll have to pay money back. This is poor policy. It's not very well thought out. And again, if you believe that you're reforming redevelopment, there are a couple of bills that do that. The LA Times referenced a bill by Senator Wright. It referenced a bill by Senator Lowenthal that would do the job of reforming redevelopment agencies. This is the elimination of redevelopment agencies. That's what it is, plain and simple. So I guess, again, for my friend on the other side, if you want to see them gone, you're not going to get any money, but if you'd like to see a total upheaval, if you want to see almost 40% of the low to moderate income housing gone, if you'd like to see almost 50% of the redevelopment that creates jobs gone, then this is the bill for you. If you want to see about 40% of the construction jobs gone, then this is the bill for you. Because you create unemployment, you create homelessness, and you create blight. If that's what you'd like, then you should vote for this bill. Members, I would ask for a no vote because in this budget year, we're looking at ways that we're able to get money. And again, I point out that there are a couple of proposals. I passed one out in front of you where you can get some of the money. One of the things I hope you'll look at as well in the pictorial I passed out is look at the before and after pictures that were of the agencies around your district. Look at that land before and after redevelopment and ask yourself, how much tax money would the school get from the blighted piece of property that was converted? Not a dime. So here you're not going to get any money. You're not going to get anything to the school. You're not going to get any jobs. You're not going to get anything of positive value. And more important, by the time you get through, you will not get one dime in this budget year. This is poor policy. It's poorly thought out. There are a number of things that will work better. I ask for your no vote.